Hi there guys, Mike Graham here from SME Skills Academy. Happy Monday, hope you all had a great weekend. It's time for your weekly sales video. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is how to qualify and get better results from your pipeline, okay? Qualifying prospects is a term that gets thrown around in sales a lot. People are always talking about how do I qualify people better? Who do I qualify? What do I need to do to qualify? All that kind of stuff, and that's great. But actually, one of the biggest skills that people don't talk about that much is qualifying your pipeline. And here's what I mean by that, right? So let's say I want to make 10 grand a month, just as an example. Okay, I want to make 10 grand a month, and I need, my average order value is 1,000 per deal. That means I need 10 deals, okay? If my pipeline has 50 prospects, okay? Or at least, my rule of thumb is if I need 10, I need at least 3 more, minimum, sometimes 5. So I need a pipeline of 30 to 50, right? So that's point number one. Point number one in terms of understanding your pipeline, qualifying your pipeline, is you've got to be able to understand what is it that you need in terms of numerically to hit your results goal, right? My result goal in that example was I need to make 10 grand. My average order value is 1K per deal, per client. I now know the number of deals I need. I need 10 sales a month. I need at least 30, 50 prospects, as in leads, not hot prospects, leads to give me a good chance of hitting that number, right? So that's point number one. Point number one is you got to know how many leads you need, because you could be amazing at qualifying people, but if you don't have enough leads in your pipeline to give you a good chance of hitting your results, you're never going to hit. You might hit it a couple of times, but it's luck. It's not going to be a consistent thing, right? So you got to know how many leads you need in your pipeline. That's point number one. Point number two that you need to know in your pipeline is you need to know what the values are of your deals, as in A, B's, and C's. A's are your whales. These are guys that if you close, it's like, wow, that was so exciting, big deal, big money, you know, we're going to the party. B's are people that they're still good deals, they're still good revenue earners, but maybe they take a bit more work. And then the lowest one are C's. These are the lowest revenue generating clients and the ones that take the most amount of time, right? Actually, most businesses, they do a lot of C-level deals. And the reason is because C-level deals are easier to close and they're easier to generate. But that means that in their pipeline, in their activity, they spend a lot of time on their C's. The simplest way, so the next 2 points are, point number 2 is understand what your A, B, and C's look like. I would advise you after this video to sit down with a sheet of paper, go, right, here's what an A looks like, here's what a B looks like, here's what a C looks like, right? And then I relate that back to your current pipeline and kind of go, okay, how many A prospects do I have? How many B prospects do you have? How many C prospects do you have? You might just surprise yourself, right? And then the third point that you really want to know is you want to know, so we just talked about A, B's, and C's, so qualifying your pipeline. The third thing you want to do is who are you spending your activity with, right? My rule of thumb is this. I always spend the beginning of my sales activity through the week on my C's. The reason is because I want to warm up. If I mess it up, it's fine. It's not a big deal, but you know, I kind of want to get in the game. I want to warm myself up, right? So I'm spending time with my C's. I spend though 50 to 60% of my sales activity time across the week on my B's. On my B's, not my A's, because the A's, they sometimes take longer to close. There's sometimes something specific that I need to do, and it's a bit of a Hail Mary game. If I get an A, amazing, but if I don't, then I could be left with crumbs. So you got to make sure that that situation doesn't happen. It happens to lots of salespeople, right? You talk to a sales guy or girl, and they go, I've got a deal. And you're like, okay, and it's an A, it's a big deal. And then you ask them, well, what about the rest of your pipeline? And they don't really have anything going on. And that's a really risky situation to be in, because if it works out, you're king of the castle. If it doesn't work out, you might not be in the castle, right? So I wouldn't play that game. The game I'd play, like I said, is have your C's warm up with them. You know, that's like training practice. Your B's are when game time happens. And then if I'm spending 50% of my time on my B's, I spend 25% of my time on my C's, and I also spend 25% of my time on my A's. I've got to spend time on my A's because if I'm doing that, I give myself the chance of, if I close one of them a month, I give myself a chance of really surpassing my sales target and hitting the big goals, right? So those are the 3 key points in terms of qualifying your pipeline, number one is know how many leads you actually need, and that's where you've got to put pressure on. Number two is understand where your A's, B's, and C's are. And point number three is really get good at understanding where you're spending your time with your A's, with your B's, and with your C's, and try and split it in the ratio that I mentioned. Guys, I hope this video has helped you. If you liked it, please like it. If you want to comment it, please share it, and let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks so much, and speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.